sure that your phones are silenced for the service. We will say our unity statement of being in 5 unity principles. There is one presence and one power in this church and in our lives and in the universe, God the good, unlimited. In the 5 unity principles, number 1, God is absolute good, everywhere present. Number 2, God lives in us, therefore we are inherently good. Number 3, we are co-creators with God and create our experiences through our thoughts. And number 4, prayer is creative thinking that heightens our connection with God and mind. Number 5, it is not enough to simply know these principles. We must live the truth we know. And now turn to page 2 for the singing of our Lord's Prayer. Please stand.
stone. I invite you to get comfortable as you prepare to go within. Solidly close the door. And go from the outer into the inner, into an area that is so vast, so infinite, it has no beginning and no end. And you are one with it. It is in this innermost space that on this first Sunday of the month, which is also Advent, that we will set the intention for our lives, for our community, for our city, for the state, this country, and this world. And so the intention that we are to set right here, right now, is the intention of love. So I want you to visualize your symbol for love, whatever that symbol may be. See that symbol radiating, blazing like the sun in your mind's eye. And as you see that symbol that you hold for love, I invite you to now feel that feeling that you know to be love. If there's any inspiration or muse for that feeling of love, then I invite you to think about it. Whatever it is, whatever your symbol, your muse for love, whatever your idea of love, see that radiating in your heart and in your mind, and feel the feeling that you identify with love. Feel it within you. Feel it growing and intensifying and radiating outwards. From the central space that you identify as being the individual self. See it radiating. See it continuing to grow, radiate. Feel that feeling intensify until it is now covering this entire sanctuary. If your muse is your children or your loved ones, other, family, a pet, or pets. Whatever it is that inspires that beautiful feeling that you know to be love, I invite you to go ahead and allow that muse to inspire you. To feel. For it is where thought and emotion intersect that manifestation and all creation takes place. If you choose to think in terms of form, relationships that could benefit, for example, from this powerful energy that you are creating, by all means, go ahead and think in form. Perhaps there's someone you haven't spoken with in quite a while. See that someone being bathed in this radiating energy that you know to be love. In truth, we need not think of form, for there is only the content of our thoughts in the end. But sometimes we need to apply it to form. And so if that be the case, then by all means, I invite you to do so. Know that love can do all things. Know that where the intellect fails, love continues. Know that love heals all, even those things that we feel are unhealable. Love uplifts all, raises all. Know that love is the most powerful energy in the universe. And love reaches everyone and everything exactly where it is radiating. It does not have any requirement. It sees all as worthy of it. Like the sun to the flower or the plant. We cannot survive without it. It is who we are at our core. Regardless regardless of the ideas that we may have about ourselves. It is the truth. Perhaps there's some area in your life where you've been experiencing difficulty, challenges, and struggle. I invite you to relinquish it to this energy that you are right now creating. See and visualize the challenges that you're facing or experiencing being bathed in this radiating light, this energy, this cleansing and purifying and uplifting energy. See yourself being bathed in this energy. Feel what it is like to be completely loved, totally, wholly, truly, without conditions, without requirements, knowing that you are already worthy, enough, beautiful. See that truth for the self. Now see that truth for your whole self. Let us feel gratitude for this cleansing energy, for this purifying energy that we have been a part of co-creating right here, right now, in this sanctuary. We have created this mastermind consciousness of love. Right here, right now. We have gathered together in combined and united intention. Feel gratitude for what you are experiencing right now. Feel gratitude for the healing that you are experiencing right now. Feel gratitude for the forgiveness that you are experiencing right now. We are so grateful We feel this gratitude in the name and after the loving nature of source, of principle. And so it is. Amen. How does everyone feel? Everyone, please stand and take out your hymnals once again. You know, I love that song that the choir just sang. I love this time as far as an Advent because it signals when we can sing this song. And so I was talking to Mike, and he was like, "You want to play it again?" I said, "Yep, I want to sing it again." So we're going to sing O Come, Emmanuel on page number 260. Page number 260, O come, Emmanuel. How we doing today? Okay. Good. All right. You know, Emmanuel, we are in the beginning of the season of Advent. And Advent it means the arrival, but it's also like a renewal. And so there are numerous principles that are in the spirit of Advent. And this Sunday we're talking about hope and faith. These things are very important. We're going to get into that. So the name of my talk is the inevitability of hope. The inevitability of hope. You see, there are always possibilities, numerous possibilities that are everywhere. And see, the possibilities that we see are possibilities where we are resonating as far as our energy. So hence, if our energy is low, maybe we're going through things, maybe we don't feel very good about ourselves, whatever it is, we don't see very many possibilities for ourselves. As our energy raises, we see more possibilities for ourselves, higher possibilities as our energy raises. And so, we're going to get into hope, because see what hope does, hope has the ability to create almost like an antenna, so to speak, where we are raising our energy or raising a part of us to be vigilant for possibilities that we're not necessarily completely certain about. But we believe in the existence of these possibilities. And see, it still requires our belief. We're still talking about the power of mind action, but this is the power of mind action as far as where we are and where we are setting our intention. Now see, the people of Israel, for hundreds of years, there was a scripture that talked about Emmanuel, that talked about the coming of the Messiah. And see, what the people were not completely aware of was that with their hope, because at the time they were under Roman occupation, and so with their hope of being free, they were actually changing themselves. They were changing their consciousness. They were creating within them the capacity to be free. And so they were tuning that antenna for the possibility of freedom, salvation. Now, there were many messiahs, or many self-proclaimed messiahs that actually came historically. And they all, one by one, ended up on the cross. And these messiahs that actually came, they came as far as rebels. And so they, led revolts. Many revolts. There were many revolts that took place. And it's because this is where this is where their consciousness was. Their consciousness was about, they needed someone to come in like in the spirit of King David. They needed a king to come in like King David and come in and go in there and physically, lead a rebellion and oust Rome and kick them out of their land, of their country. So that's where they were actually resonating, even though they had their antennas raised for this possibility of freedom. You see, but spirit doesn't look at the low as far as the whole rebellion thing and the whole, spirit doesn't look at that. But spirit does hear a call for freedom. And this call for freedom was a call of a higher nature. Even though they're not aware of it, even though they weren't aware of it. So their consciousness was changed, because I will tell you right now, had Rabbi Yeshua came, if their consciousness wasn't prepared for it, he would have been just speaking to people that wouldn't have been listening. Hence the saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So there was a readying process. There was a readying process to prepare them for Christ's consciousness. Christ's consciousness was not about one man. Christ's consciousness was about a people that were ready for change, a people that were ready to experience new experiences, a new understanding of freedom, whether they understood that at the time or not. Everybody with me? So I say all that to say, what are you hoping for? What are we hoping for? Because whatever it is that we are hoping for, we are tuning ourselves to the possibility of that. Regardless of what you think is taking place, that's what really is taking place. You are tuning yourself to the possibility of that which you are hoping for. Whatever it is. This is mind action right here. And see, as we continue along this process, we build up this matrix of understanding, because, we are talking about hope and faith. So we build up this matrix of understanding that is our faith. This matrix of understanding where now that we have experienced the possibilities, we've experienced these possibilities because we're vigilant and because we're tuning this antenna that we have for these possibilities that we don't really see right here, but we believe that it's possible, that is changing us. So what are you applying that faculty of your mind towards? Because it is transformation, it is a transformation, it is transforming you. Now this can be used positively, for us constructively, and it can also be used in a negative manner. Because we're dealing with faculties of the mind. So how it is misapplied is, for example, if you are suspicious or mistrusting. And so you are now tuning that energy to be suspicious and mistrusting. And so you're creating this transformation as far as being suspicious and mistrusting of your brothers and sisters, of people, things like that. And so what you're doing is you're creating a suspicious, mistrusting person within you. It works the same way. Whatever you are tuning your mind to, you're experiencing possibilities. So it's just like a power tool. When I say you are limitless, you are limitless. There is literally nothing you cannot do. We have to be mindful of where we are putting our thoughts, where we're putting our energy. We just have to be mindful. That's all. Because then we create a matrix of understanding that we have. And see, this matrix of understanding is then a creator then at that point. See, this matrix of understanding then is a compilation of beliefs, of hardened beliefs that we have because of the possibilities that we have tuned into, you see, that are now created. Now we've seen the evidence of these possibilities, so we've tuned into these possibilities, and so now we have faith in these possibilities. And so now this whole thing is now creating now. It's creating. It's like an automatic pilot now. It's naturally creating because you believe it. Yes. Does everybody follow me so far? Okay. All right. In the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verses 1 through 3. It talks about faith being the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. And it talks about by faith, our ancestors were able to achieve the miraculous. Indeed, by faith, the universe was created by spirit, so that what was seen was created by what was not visible. So hope leads to faith. Hope is a pathway to faith. Because as we continue to hope for things, we continue to, whatever you are focusing your mind on, I like this saying that I got from Winky. She told me about Dr. Ruth Elmer, one of her sayings. Dr. Ruth Elmer said, whatever you pay attention to pays attention to you. I love that. When she said that, I think about that all the time. And that was so true. That's exactly what happens. Whatever you pay attention to pays attention to you. So let's get into the scripture. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for. So at this point, you're no longer doubting now. At this point, you're no longer wavering like some leaves that are blowing in the wind. You now have a certain certainty now. It's an assurance now. So you're no longer just hoping. Hope is very important. But hope is not an end result. Hope leads you to something more, something greater, something where you experience the inevitability of what you've been hoping for. The conviction. The only way you're going to experience any type of conviction is after you've already gone through some things. After you've actually experienced some things, you've gone through it, you see. You've experienced the trials and the tribulations, and you see now you have a certain certainty. It doesn't matter what this other picture is showing you, this other picture that the world wants to broadcast to you is showing you. You've already built up this matrix of understanding, which now broadcasts another picture to you, you see. And this is what I mean by we have two pictures, you see. This is a double vision that you experience. It doesn't mean that you don't experience what the rest of the world experiences. It means that you now have a new understanding, and you are not swayed by appearances. You're not swayed by what the naked eye is telling you, or you're not swayed by what your ears are whispering to you, or what you hear people speaking to you, or what you hear on TV. You have another picture of what's really going on. And so now you are really serving yourself and serving humanity by being an anchor. You see, you're being an anchor now. You're not being influenced like some leaves that have no anchor, that just blow this way and blow that way as the wind blows. No, now you are anchored in the truth. You are anchored in the truth. You are more like spirit now, you see. You're more like the invisible now. And so now spirit, the invisible, is now able to express in you, through you, and as you. So how do we, it's the question I want to pose. How do we consciously create this matrix of understanding? Well, you know, it's important to follow what I now have, as of today, or as of putting this into this talk. I've labeled 6 keys, created 6 keys to spiritual mastery, and this is what they're going to be called. And you're familiar with all of them except for one. 6 keys to spiritual mastery. Anybody want to guess what the first one is?
Meditation.
That's right. That's right. All right. Meditation. You know, I'm not here to tell you how much to meditate. I'm not here to get invested in your meditation practice. And I'm not here to tell you anything other than meditation works. It is necessary to be a spiritual master. It doesn't have to be called meditation, because there's other labels in Catholic Church. They don't even label it as meditation. They talk about contemplation, but it's the same thing. It's contemplation, meditation, same thing. Removing the noise, removing all the noise, all the sounds. I'm not saying you have to close your eyes. I mean, I close my eyes, but you don't have to close your eyes. Just turn everything off. Turn it all off. Turn everything off and just sit in the silence and see what wisdom comes to you. Wisdom that will speak to you in terms that you understand. It's not going to be an alien wisdom. It's going to be a wisdom that's going to speak in the symbols that you recognize. But it's going to be a higher order speaking to you in the symbols that you recognize. If you really want to maximize on your meditation or contemplation, I would invite you to get rid of everything that you already know, so you can begin to explore things that you don't. It's like I talked about baking a cake. You want to learn a new way to bake that cake? Get everything that you know about baking that cake. Get it out of the way. Get it out of there. It's not serving you as far as learning a new way to make that cake. Bake that cake. Get it out of there. And you actually might find some new ingenious ways to bake this cake that no one's ever thought of. But if you have this already learned stuff that's getting in the way, it's impeding your progress, you're not going to learn the new. This is what I do every Sunday. I have to get everything that I learned, everything that I learned in unity, everything that I know, everything that I think to be the truth, and get it out of there so I can be open to this infinite number of ideas that are still in my consciousness. This infinite number of things because I'm connecting with spirit, just like we all connect with spirit. But I have to get my own learning out of the way so I can open myself up to the new. Get all that stuff out. I already know that. I don't even know that anymore. Get that out of here. Tell me something new. And spirit never fails. Never fails. Constantly gives me new things. Oh, you want it? No problem, Stephen. No problem. We're going to give you new. All the time. All the time. All the time. All the time. There's nothing special about me. Everybody can do this. Everybody can do this. You got to get the things that you already know out of there. You already know it. What are you holding on to it for? Get it out of there. That's something that you can do while you are in silence. It's a powerful way to experience new insights, new realizations. A powerful way. Get everything that you know out of there to open yourself up to the things that you don't know. And spirit, which is always communicating to you, will communicate to you in other terms that you don't know, which will give you an even broader viewpoint, a broader understanding. Gratitude. Gratitude is key as far as in raising the energy. That's the second key to spiritual mastery. Gratitude. It's the second key to spiritual mastery. Well, that's another key to spiritual mastery. Gratitude. Learning how to be grateful. Learning how to be grateful for what is. You see, when you're grateful for what is, you're not creating this frustration with what you're experiencing. See, that frustration, that very frustration, or that very upset, all that's doing is raising your cortisol levels. All that's doing is basically that's just lowering your intellect, and that's removing your capacity for actually seeing positives in your situation, you see. So gratitude helps to reverse that process. It does it does the opposite from complaining. Gratitude. It raises your energy. It helps you to see those higher possibilities, those higher possibilities, okay? You can also do it with hoping also, but gratitude just naturally does it. It naturally raises your consciousness. The higher your consciousness is, the higher possibilities that you will be able to imagine for yourself and for your world. Gratitude. Prayer. Prayer changes us also. And prayer is a drastic way to change us. It changes us. It's not about externally changing so I can think the same. No, it changes the way we think. Real prayer, real productive prayer, changes the way we think, the way we see things. Yes, prayer does other things too, but that's what I'm focusing on the change in the consciousness so that you can actually see the abundance that already is. It already is. It already is. So if you don't see it, pray. And be specific with that. Reverend Fleming said there's abundance everywhere. So, I'd like to see some more of that abundance, spirit. Help me see that abundance. I affirm that abundance. Or whatever it is that you want to say. You want to pray affirmatively? I affirm that abundance expressing in my life now. I affirm that my true nature is abundance, and I see that abundance expressing in my life right here, right now. And you can even say how it's expressing. It's up to you. You take over the driver's seat. Building a relationship with spirit. That is so powerful, you know. If I had a camera in my home, you know, you guys would actually chuckle. You guys would chuckle. I'm just walking around talking to spirit and stuff, whatever, you know, just talking to spirit. I'm not, I mean, I have, a place by myself, but I'm not by myself. I'm not by myself. I'm not alone, you see. And I find that I'm able to talk more with spirit openly when I'm really, when I'm away from people. When I'm away from people. So I value that time where I'm actually by myself. You know, some people, they get lonely and things. I get that. But some of the greatest times that I can connect with spirit is when nobody else is around. You know? Where I can really connect with source and really see what's going on. You know, what's happening? You know, help me with this. You know, why don't you get upset with that? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. And spirit's never going to be like, I don't feel like answering what you have to say. Spirit's never going to do that. It's never going to do that. Build a relationship with spirit. It's another key to spiritual mastery. Next one I'm going to say, you guys haven't heard this one before, is giving. Giving. See, giving is an energy, you see. It's an energy. And so this energy, it always returns to its source. It always returns. So when you give, for example, when you are giving, you know, for example, to yourself, you're giving to yourself. You know, and I talk to people about giving to themselves, like giving love to themselves, things like that. You know, like many of us, like we wait on external recognition. We wait on people to acknowledge us. We wait on people to recognize us and things like that. And you know, I tell people, you know, you're gonna starve if you're waiting for people to do that. You need to do that with yourself. You need to recognize yourself and acknowledge yourself and appreciate yourself. You're gonna starve if you're waiting for another personality that already has a whole bunch of things that they have to do, that they have to deal with. Insecurities that they have and all kinds of other things, and you sit up there waiting on them to acknowledge you? No, acknowledge yourself. Appreciate yourself. Love yourself. Do something kind for yourself. And then what you're also doing is you're teaching. You're teaching at that point. Once you're being kind and loving, you're teaching now. So you're teaching the world how to treat you. You're instilling yourself with that energy, you see? And people are naturally going to respond to it, naturally. Without you having to tell them, you need to appreciate me, you need to recognize me, whatever. No. Recognize yourself. Pat yourself on the back. If you did something great, pat yourself on the back. And I do that, you know, I'll give myself grace all the time. You know, Stephen, you're doing a wonderful job. You're doing a wonderful job. I just want you to know, you are doing a wonderful job. I would tell myself that when I'm by myself, you know. I would invite you to do that. There is no instruction manual on how to be a human being whatsoever. You are doing the best that you can, and you are doing a wonderful job at it. No one told you how to be. No one can tell you how to be, because first of all, you're unique. And the people who were your teachers, they were struggling themselves. Whether they were your parents or whatever, they were still trying to figure it out themselves. You see? They were just trying to teach you the best way that they do, but they didn't really have it. So we don't really have it. We're doing the best that we can. You are doing a phenomenal job. Start recognizing that, though. Start recognizing who you are, recognizing what you bring to the table, recognizing and appreciating who you are, giving. If you're getting something from this ministry, whatever it is, I'm not here to tell you how to give. Give. Whether it's tithing, whether it's giving in service. If you're getting something from this ministry, why wouldn't you? You see? Why wouldn't you? You see? Why wouldn't you? That's just natural cycle, right? That's a cycle of energy right there. That's a cycle of energy. Wherever you're getting your good, give. That's it. And the last key of mastery, to spiritual mastery, is seeing the individual self as part of the whole self. Seeing the individual self as part of the whole self. You will not know yourself without seeing all of yourself. You will not know yourself. You will not know yourself, who you really are. You will not. If you think that what you are as you is just what you can see in a mirror. Okay? Seeing the individual self as part of the whole self. These are the keys right here. And it doesn't matter if you don't get it this Sunday, because guess what? I'm going to say it next Sunday, next one after that, next one after that. So it really doesn't even matter. You know? And my job is not to be invested in whatever. My job is to continue to speak the truth as I see it. You see? That's what I am here for. To continue to speak the truth as I see it. Now, what else does it take? Well, I'm not here to tell you what to hope for. That's all individual. We're all individual. We all have a different thing that we bring to this world, to this community, everything. So I would just say, be mindful of what you're creating. Be mindful of that thought energy that you're creating. Be mindful, for example, of what you are hoping for. Be mindful of that. Be mindful. I'm not here to say anything other than be mindful. Always know what energy you are expending on something. Know what you're doing. That's all I'm saying. Okay? And I'll give you some little hints. If there's some fear involved, it's not true. On some level, it's not true. I don't really know the specifics. I don't need to know the specifics. But if there's fear involved, like, you're afraid of something or whatever, I'm not here to say that it's not real to you. It's not true to you. It's absolutely true to you. But at the same time, there's some level of not being true about it. And that's all I can really say. That's all I can say. And really, that just really means that you need some love. I gave an example as far as being suspicious of people, being mistrusting people. All you're doing at that point is building up this matrix of understanding for betrayal. That's all you're doing at that point. So that's what I mean by be mindful. Be mindful of what you're creating as far as what you're hoping for. Be mindful of it. That's all. Just be mindful. But as this matrix of understanding continues to assemble itself, you will see that regardless of what happens around you, regardless of what people are, you will be like this anchoring presence amongst your brothers and sisters. You will be that eye when your brothers and sisters are feeling the storm. You will be that eye, that quiet in the midst of the storm, that they want you to be around, because there's something about this person that just helps to still some of the things that are within me. You see, that matrix of understanding, it's a creator at that point. Once you've built up this matrix of understanding of true thoughts, of true hoping, as far as seeing the highest and the best in humanity, seeing the highest and best in yourself, in spite of what your ideas of yourself are, in spite of what you see going on with humanity, you will be a centering force for yourself and for humanity. And that is your legacy. That is the destiny of a spiritual master. And that is who you are. That is who I see you becoming. Spiritual masters. So, I've got an affirmation for everybody. Everybody repeat after me. I affirm that my thoughts, beliefs, and feelings are the keys to creation. And I am willing to be mindful of the power I possess. Brothers and sisters, you're going to be that light that your Father, Mother, God intended for you to be. Thank you.
Thank you for that inspirational truth lesson. Now is the time for tithes and offerings. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, it is so now. Today's announcements. Electronic giving is at the front desk in the lobby. Just scan the QR code. Copies of today's service are available on CD at the front desk. Please subscribe to us on YouTube and like us on Facebook. Next Sunday, December 8th, Reverend Fleming will deliver the Sunday message. See Thursday's newsletter for details. This Saturday, December 7th at 3 p.m., Jack Fontana will be facilitating a breath workshop with special pricing to church members. See Thursday's newsletter for more details. Unity of New Orleans will be hosting a grief support group on the third Thursday of every month at 6 p.m. In December, that falls on the 19th. See Thursday's newsletter for more details. On December 15th, following the Sunday service, we will be hosting the Christmas luncheon. Please see Thursday's newsletter for more details. Is everyone signed up for that newsletter? You can see it's really needed. It has so many, it is very informational for our community. You can sign up for the newsletter electronically by using the QR code, or if you prefer, you can manually fill out a card. Do we have any new visitors today? Okay, no new visitors. Prayer chaplains are available after the service. Our chaplains will participate in prayer in total confidentiality. They'll be in front of the altar here, and we ask you to please honor the safe, sacred space in the sanctuary. and reserve any certain conversations for either the front lobby or the family room. My name is Terry, and I serve as platform speaker and also on the board of directors at Unity in New Orleans. And if anyone is interested in sacred services, please see me after the service. There are very many other opportunities if you wish to join that. Our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. The Lord watches between me and thee, while we're absent one from the other, and helps us to know we are all one in spirit through our Lord Jesus Christ. And let's make a circle and sing our peace song.